Good afternoon, everybody. It's 12 o'clock, and we're starting on time today. Yay! we've got our bud here, Dustin Slade, is here. We missed him last time, and he's going to be hanging out with us today, and we're going to be chatting a lot about what Facebook and YouTube. That sounds like fun. And then we've got Meloney Hall here, and she's got some news. And we have a special guest, Arizona Lowe. Hey, Arizona, how are you?
Oh, well, how are you?
I'm great. So let's just start real quick here. Dustin, we missed you last week, man. Tell us a little bit about how you've been and what's going on in your life.
Life's pretty good. Summer's passing too fast, as always. You know, it's already August, and here in Colorado, I hate the word September because it means the winter's coming and the summer's over. So that's a bad word in my vocabulary. It's a good time for all the leaves to change and everything, but I'm a summer guy, so I've been doing a lot of floating down the Clear Creek where you get your Coors beer from.
Yeah.
That water.
Cool. Was it cold?
Colorado water is never warm. I've not been in one lake, stream, or river that I went, this is great. I'm just going to relax here. You jump in and go, and you get out.
I did that on a jumping off a cliff into a spring water, and it was a real hot day, and it looked so inviting and kind of just nice, and I jumped in, and man, I got up. I must have jumped 10 feet out in the air on that one. It was so cold, and I got out real quick and then got back in, and after about 30 minutes, you kind of freeze, and it starts to feel better. But that was insane. So if it's like that, I could relate.
Well, you blow your inner tube up real high so that you're sitting out of the water. Your butt's in there a little bit. But then you pull it down, and there's about 3 or 4 areas that you got to make these big spillways that you can kind of watch, and everybody gets tossed in and tumbled. So it's good times, right where the Clear Creek flows into the Coors Brewing, the Coors Brewery there. So. That water, you may want to steer clear of Coors.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. Coors won't like that. We love Coors.
They have a filter process there.
Yeah. I hear that. Well, Melanie, tell us a little bit about what's going on. What's been happening in your life?
Well, it's been a whole week and a day since I was named the Help Out Provider of the Month from Google. And Thursday this week, I'm going to be in an HOA from Google with Google, and I get my 15 minutes of talking with the Google person, Hannah, and very excited about that.
Sweet. Well, how did that come about, and what's that all about?
Well, they choose Help Out Providers of the Month based on
okay, because that was your Help Out of the Month deal.
Yeah, and so
gotcha.
they since I've been featured, now they're doing an HOA on it, and so I'm super excited about that.
You should be.
Yeah, and then I'm working on a RFP, a request for proposal for a nice company here in Dayton that hope I'll get it. And if you're watching, nice company in Dayton.
She's great. If you don't hire her, you'll be missing out. I can guarantee you that.
Big mistake.
I'm plugging myself. Oh my goodness, that sounds so weird. They'll probably say disqualified.
No.
But I'm really getting the materials together for them. So that's super good.
Cool. Well, that's exciting.
Congrats.
And Arizona Lowe.
Hey.
Tell us about what's going on in your world. What's happening with you?
Well,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
We're still
I'll
in the
shut up.
process of building today's visions.
Yeah,
it's going to be an eco village for indies. That's the whole tagline. And so we're finding curators at this point and doing the beta testing on the multi-site functionality, because the whole idea is that it's going to be kind of like a dumping ground for promotions for artists, authors, and independent business people.
Cool.
And they will be promoted, by dumping on the Today's Vision site. They're going to be promoted by the curators, by us, by other indies, and we're all going to share the Twitter and social networking wealth.
Well, that sounds exciting.
Super.
Y'all
Why
ask
don't you tell people what an indie is that don't know?
Oh,
there we go. Good question.
It's funny because I looked it up when I started using the word, and the first time the word was used, I love my origins, 1929, and it referred to indie filmmakers, those people who weren't connected with the big studio. Mm-hmm. Well, now the word indie has kind of gone through its growth, and it now refers to any independent person who is not working with a big corporation, not tied into big media, big corporation type thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we're all indies.
Yeah.
So y'all need to get to Today's Visions and make your voice count.
Well, what we'll do, we have a resource document for the show, and I'll let you put that into the resource document, and then everybody can share that out on the different social media events, that different social media platforms they're on, and we'll all have a ball with it. So, yep.
Or we can instantly hashtag it as Today's Visions, right?
Hashtag Today's Visions is registered in each venue, which is what we're calling the sections.
Good.
So like I have the hot reads for the authors. That hashtag I've got registered.
Good.
We have the galleries for the artists. I have that hashtag registered.
What is that hashtag?
The galleries. Hashtag the galleries.
It's hashtag the galleries. Okay.
I couldn't believe it wasn't already taken.
Yeah.
Really?
We have a lady in India, so we're kind of international. We have a lady in India who's going to do a section called Curiously Happy for positive thinkers.
Sweet.
So there's all kinds of fun stuff coming up.
Really? That sounds so neat.
And I'm still looking for 6 or 7 curators, so put the word out.
Yeah.
Curators.
Okay. So what you're talking about, just people that provide content in specific areas? What do you mean by curators?
A curator is a person who specializes in an area, like publishing or writing, or publishing is taken now, writing's taken obviously, but one of the indie areas, and then they kind of review other businesses in that area and write articles about it.
Okay. Cool. So do you have any specific niches that you're looking for, or just...
I actually do.
Whoever stands up and says, me, pick me.
I'm pulling up the list because when I hit 10, when I get 10 curators, I want to kind of stop it for a year and just let it do an organic growth.
Sounds like a good idea.
So you'll need like a photographer, photographer, writing.
Well, I have art and photography is already covered. We have the writing covered. I'm still looking for crafters, entertainment, music and film, public speakers, business leadership, social media, and parenting.
Wow. Cool. That does cover a lot.
You've got to, I'm kind of an eclectic person. I have a wide variety of interest. So it only, stands to reason that I'm going to kind of start something that will tickle my fancy everywhere.
Sure.
Well, that's good. I think it's a really smart strategy too, to put a cap on how many that begin, so that it can organically grow, and you'll get more commitment out of those who are participating. Because they'll feel valued, because you will depend on them because they are part of the first stages.
Well, and that's, making someone feel valued is how this whole concept came about.
Yeah.
I actually did a horrible, in my opinion, it was bad, radio interview with Slade Suter. And But the one key, I had an aha moment in the middle of that interview when I was telling them about how I would go up to people and just tell them out of the blue, I really appreciate what you're doing. And so today's visions kind of grew out of that idea of appreciating the indie, appreciating the talent and the time and the effort that they put into their craft.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That is, I would, maybe you can give us a recap like in 6 months.
Okay.
Like from start, and then 6 months from now, say, hey, here's what we've experienced, and it's beyond our dreams.
I can do that.
That'd be neat.
All right, cool. Let's see, Dustin, you said you had a couple of things you wanted to talk about today, so.
Well, I just wanted to briefly mention the YouTube. I know we had a question last week, kind of what would be your interest in marketing? You want to do social media, YouTube, or Facebook, and kind of what was on the platter there. And seems like the YouTube is really getting either. I learned two things. One, I'm running Ray Higdon's list, and his YouTube account got shut down. He sent out a email on his,
and his is huge. He had a huge following.
Three or 4 days, videos a day in some cases, I think he was saying. So millions of videos, views, and his account shut down. On the same day that I received his email, I got a flag on one of my videos. And the video is, it's a Camtasia video. It's talking about the cost of it, $450 for the full Camtasia versus using a free product called SM Recorder, and it's just kind of a how-to video and
comparison.
So that got flagged, and just on the same day that his account got shut down. So I made a post in a couple groups I'm in to see if people's accounts are being targeted and had any kind of changes in YouTube or anything. And one of the things, the responses that I got back was kind of interesting. Are you familiar with JVZoo?
Yep.
The program, affiliate program partnership thing where it's basically affiliate programs. There are tons and tons of programs that individual indies can put in there and sell and be on there. And so one of the trainings for outranking someone on a YouTube video, I don't even want to say it, it's such a bad tactic, but this was in the training for one of the programs that he bought through JVZoo. And they said if you can't outrank someone, look for something like keyword stuffing in their description and just go ahead and flag their video. And so part of the instruction was to go ahead and flag the video of someone else's channel. So I think that's starting to become a tactic for people that are just starting out and just hearing this, or who knows who's doing it, but it seems to be a thing, and we got a fair amount of response from people that are like, yeah, I got flagged for videos that have nothing to do, I'm not selling anything in the video that got flagged in mine. It's just saying, hey, use this free service and save yourself $450.
So it's individuals that are bringing attention. They pick that little thing that says, like, dislike, flag, and they're picking flag. Hopefully they know what that means. It doesn't mean, hey, this is a great job. It means bad. So don't flag people.
Well, one of the things Ray showed a screenshot, and he got like 30 people flagged his video at one time. I mean, within like 2 seconds or something. So I mean, that looked like a campaign targeted at him specifically.
Wow.
And I think the marketing niche is something that people target too. So and that's the niche that he's in. So
it made me think, basically, in a way, I'm kind of bad-mouthing Camtasia, even though I didn't intend to do that. If a Camtasia exec saw my video and went, hey, you have free software that does the same thing, well, I'm going to flag this guy, let's get him off YouTube. So it made me think
Dustin,
maybe there's...
you're not the only one that has done a product comparison.
No.
You know, you're not. I mean, they're all over the place. People are comparing the iPhone with the Android, and
Sure. I
just,
think my
you know.
point is that there seems to be some sort of new tactic to
Yeah.
defame people and put them in some sort of spam category or, you know, terms of violation use issues and try and outrank them in that way.
Well, you know,
Oh.
that's why we're broadcasting on this channel, because I got my channel popped on 2 videos, and they were innocuous videos. So I think the deal is go to S3 or go to Vimeo. And, you know, I mean, YouTube marketing's great, but anybody can pop you for anything, and they don't ask questions, they just pop you. So.
Gee.
And on that note, part of my whole point in that is that I don't think, I mean, I've got 12 pages of videos on YouTube. It's about 350 videos that's on there. And these, you know, if you don't have these downloaded somewhere, you run the risk of them being gone. I'm in the process of being proactive and just making sure my whole account is stashed somewhere on a external hard drive and have access to hours of video that I've made, and it's not just gone because someone wants to outrank me. So sorry to bring that in on a sour note, but it's part of a little tactic that's been brought to my attention, and it's actually, you know, as my buddy showed me, hey, look, it's in this software. If you just can't flat out rank them, go ahead and flag them, and then you'll have an ability to work around the system and at least put them in a review process. I mean, the email I got is that I'm going through a review process. It didn't give me any kind of time to or way to have a rebuttal of any sort. So, FYI, download
nasty
your videos.
Practices.
Pretty terrible stuff in terms of, you know, what you should be doing out there. You shouldn't be defaming people, and just, you know, it'll come around and get you in the long run. So just be good, do right, do the golden rule, and you'll be all right.
Well, you know, one of the things that Google was doing on Google Plus was requiring everybody to use a real name, and they were doing that for quite a while, and now they've stopped doing that. So, you know, you had this was in conjunction with the YouTube integration, and they're breaking up all the integration now. So all that's getting separated, and you can do it standalone. But I mean, there were a lot of people trolling on YouTube, and I guess there still are. So anyway, it's an interesting thing. But one kind of strategy you might want to take on that is when you put up a channel, put up different channels, and maybe just put up 10 videos, you know. And one of the algorithms, or one of the metrics that YouTube is looking at, is time spent on YouTube. So, you know, if you're I think maybe they hit me because in my video I was taking them off YouTube, and it's possible that, you know, you should maybe do a series of 4 videos and run them from video to video to video and keep them in playlists, because that helps too. And then have a call to action maybe on your 4th video or something that takes them off or takes them somewhere else. But that's just a thought. So I don't know if anybody's got any comments they want to make about that. But that's kind of what I think about it. So anyway.
Wow.
For what it's worth.
I had a YouTube success this week.
Cool. Let's hear it.
I don't want to talk about it.
No, let's absolutely talk about it.
No, and, you know, before you go on to that real quick, I just wanted to mention that part of the response I got back from one of the communities is that there's going to be a webinar this Wednesday, and they're going to talk specifically about what to do and how to protect yourself in that. So, you know, if you can make it on that webinar, Mark Harbert's going to be doing it. One of the first guys that got, I think he was one of the first ones about a year ago that just had his account yanked for what he calls no reason. So if you can make it to that webinar, I'll put a link in there for that too.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. What is the good news?
Well, I was, you know, you can put a intro trailer on your channel.
Yeah.
And I was struggling with that, like, I don't know, what do I do? What do I do? So I was working on an outro, you know, outro, to
Yep.
put at the end. And then it was like, okay, then if I add it on, then I'm creating all these new videos, which I didn't want to do. So I just made my intro, which it's like 25 seconds. And even though it's not my perfect one, I still have it up. And I like how I did it. And I experimented with some different software to do it. And so thumbs up for me working through that for like 5 hours.
Absolutely. Yay.
You know, and because, you know, what's funny, yay, what's funny is when you try to find out how people do things,
Yeah.
they tell you like 3/4 of it. That's it. 3/4 of the instructions. And they forget, because they know, I don't know, they're just guarding their information. And that is so frustrating. And I don't like that. So that's why it takes so long, because it's like, wait a minute, I had to go to another resource, and then there's four parts of this, but you're only telling me 1, 3, and 4, and you're telling me 1, 2, and 3, and you're telling me 2, 3, and 4. Where's the whole story? So, boy, I was getting angrier and angrier as I was trying to do this. So then that's when I said, you know what? I'm not moving forward on this. It's now my intro. So I have a 25-second intro, and it's just music and little spotlight links.
Did you edit that through the YouTube editor, or was it on a program on your computer?
No, I did that through my Windows Movie Maker. Because if I wanted to add the outro in the editor part, it creates a whole new stinking video. And I don't want that. I just want to put it at the end of my videos that are already uploaded. But it doesn't work that way.
Now you should show us the intro part of that, where that is on the YouTube profile, or it's in your profile page.
It's like on my, it's on my channel. So if you go, you on just Google Meloney Hall YouTube channel, and you'll see it. And it's has subscribe now, and it has like you know, cool music. And I'll tell you what, I timed my music perfectly. Oh my goodness, that was great. I have this. And then the music, and I timed it just right. It was. I loved that part.
Great, good job, Melody.
Because when I time it just right, it makes sense.
Do you use any service like Fiverr or anything like that for?
No, that's my problem. I do it all myself, so it's my equity. So if I'm going to get mad, it's me I'm mad at.
Let me ask you this: do you want to put that on all your other YouTube videos, or do you want to just keep
I
it
would
on
like
that
to
one?
have it at the end, but I don't want to make new videos.
Well, you can actually go in and add that to, if it's an intro or an outro, there's a way that you can add it in YouTube to all your videos at one time.
Well, I can do that. I can do that for the intro, but not for the outro.
Okay.
That's
well, you
what's
might want to. You got an intro and outro though, don't you? You might want to just add your intro into all of them.
Yeah, my intros. I have a separate intro, which is just my logo, like flipping through, for my 3 seconds. Because your intro can only be like 3 seconds.
Can you show us quickly the screen share of that page?
Ooh.
Now, what we can do, Melanie, if you want to, we can use this showcase an item from a website.
Okay, let's try that, because if I screen share,
I've got that plugged in. So can you see that? Is that showing? If you go on to the left-hand side and see the little yellow showcase thing?
Yeah.
Can you call that up on your screen?
Yeah. But how do I add something in?
You just copy the URL and paste it.
Okay, so you talk amongst yourselves. I'm gonna go get the link.
Arizona, what is your indie part? Do you do what part of like social media or YouTube, or do you have a favorite?
I think my favorite would have.
There it is.
Where's that coming from?
Yeah, you found it.
Oh, wait a minute, is that me?
Wait a
Who
minute,
is that?
that's Melanie. She's pacing her. She's pacing her.
No, I haven't even done it yet. It went there first. Who was that?
That was me. I was looking you up.
Oh,
Oh,
well,
okay.
there you go.
I'm
Yeah,
so
that was it.
It's on autoplay.
Well, yeah, we don't want to play
Yeah.
that on here. It might get us shut down.
Yeah, I was just thinking
So
that.
that
So
that was not a good idea.
yeah,
Where
so
was
let's look at that later.
Okay, Arizona. I'm sorry, we broke into your conversation.
well, that's okay. I need Dustin to clarify his question, please.
Okay.
Oh, I just wondered what medium of marketing that you like the best. Do you have like a blog or
Well, I
a
think
YouTube channel or have Pinterest, or what do you like the best?
blogging is probably what I am most accustomed to. However, I'm falling in love with doing videos and Google Chat.
Cool,
Um,
cool.
so that's kind of the direction I'm going. I want to start doing either Twitter chats or Google chats with artists and authors and other indies. And
Now, when you say Google Chat, what do you mean? Is that video chat? I mean,
yeah,
video
what we're
calls?
doing right now.
Oh, okay. HOAs.
Yeah, so
Hang
like
on theirs.
one of them that I want to start is more techie. I want to do the basics of WordPress and let 10 people send me questions and be on the show, and I'll answer their questions.
She's a. Tell them a little bit about your technical background.
Oh my gosh. I told Melanie a little bit. I actually started college at 14. I have my first degree is in business information systems with a minor in mathematics. Then I kind of took a break. I worked corporate until they crashed and burned, and went back and got my English Lit degree, and now I'm going for a master's in digital humanities.
Wow.
What is that? That sounds cool.
It is. It's actually what I'm doing on today's visions. Is curating the content that's out there, either the past, from the masters, or what is contemporary, what is happening right now. And then the other side of it is how do we balance all this technology with our lives, so that we're not on the phone, while somebody's being assaulted on a bus.
Well, you go to a restaurant and everyone's, the whole family's got their neck down looking at their phones. It's a whole phenomenon now.
Hey, that's around the Christmas dinner table too, and everything else. It's
It's
just
true.
insane.
It's true.
Especially anybody that's under 30. I mean, it's.
It's true.
You know,
Guilty.
Tom, I raised 6 kids, and they hated it because I made sure the TV was off during dinner. If I was raising them in today's world, they would be going, "But Mom, I have to have my phone."
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And is digital humanities a way of digitalizing our histories now, where we relied on libraries in the past to record everything in print, but now things can be digitalized, and we're building this big database of what's happening in the year 2013 and 2014 and 2015.
I had an Encyclopedia Britannica at home. I actually had a volume at home. Those things are gone.
Yeah, digital humanities is about pulling it all into a way that we can easily access. That's why sites like what I'm doing on today's visions, the content curation sites,
Mm-hmm.
on the web right now, everything is doubling so fast. I mean, the amount of information. People cannot access everything that's there, and it's so easy to get buried. So it's important to have a curation system that works.
Yeah, because if things are not categorized and cataloged correctly, what's the use? It'd be like going into, you remember the old days when they still had those index cards in libraries?
Oh, yeah, the card catalogs?
Yeah, the card catalog. And kids who don't know what that is, just go to your librarian and she'll show you the archive of this. If things weren't cataloged and categorized properly, you couldn't find from the million books that are in these libraries. So we have the same issue. So who's coming up with those ideas?
Well, that's what digital humanities is all about.
Yeah,
And
it's a great project.
Built.
Yeah.
And it's exciting.
Cool.
That is so neat to be part of the big global picture of getting these things archived for our great-great-grandchildren.
Well, what's thrilling for me in my life, I've gone from, I mean, when I started college, I was using key punch cards.
Uh-oh, don't tell people that.
I'm old, I admit it. And you know, I've had the joy of watching this great phenomena grow to where it's at now, and it's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's a big hard drive.
Tell it, Dustin.
when you think that we're using
Huge hard drive
technology,
somewhere.
yeah, when you think that we're using technology that took astronauts to the moon, and you know, back then we are using that high-powered technology every day in our palm of our hand. You know.
From what I understand from the research I've done, the technology we're using today is greater than what took man to the moon.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely, by far,
yeah,
by far.
It's amazing.
And it's just it's growing by leaps and bounds. So it's a wonderful thing and a interesting thing.
It is.
I just watched the movie Lucy about using 100% of your brain.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
And it was had some twists. It was pretty interesting though, but I think as we evolve and we're using part of the systems, and I wonder what our capacity is to get 20%, 30%, 40% of our brain going. It's pretty exciting to see.
Mm.
Well, one of the interesting things is everybody operates on their subconscious level, which is something that you kind of incorporated as you were growing up. So, and everybody does that on a daily basis unless you really sit down and write it out and think about things. So if you want to change things, you can do that. It takes about 21 days to do it, but you have to focus on changing specific things. You have to become aware of it, and then you have to work on when you become aware of it to change it to something that serves you. But it takes about 21 days to do that, and if you write it down, it helps a whole lot to drive that into your subconscious. And if you write it down daily over 21 days, you'll be amazed at what kind of results you can get. That's just kind of a tip. But that works. That's a life experience.
On the writing thing, I find this interesting that they say writing uses a different mechanism than typing. Doing your dictation on your laptop versus actually writing it has a way bigger impact. Do you know anything about that? Anyone?
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the things I was just talking to you about is if you actually sit down and you have to physically write it. It's a handwritten deal. You can't type it, but handwriting actually gets that into your subconscious. And if you write down just one time, your brain acts like a servo mechanism basically. And if you are specific and program it, and you can do that by writing something down if it's very specific, you will get approximately 80% of that over time just from writing it down one time if it's specific. If you want to get it 100%, you write it down continuously for 30 days. And it's a list that you can write down. And this is a Brian Tracy deal. But you write it down and you write down your goals. It's 10 goals in the present tense, and you go and do that every day for 30 days. So one of it's a discipline thing, but and you can't look back at it. But if you'll do that over 30 days, you'll be amazed at how much you can accomplish in that period of time just from writing that down. And the trick is to write it down physically, handwritten on a piece of paper, and to do it over time and to not look at what yesterday's list was, if that kind of makes sense. But it's kind of your top 10 things that you want to accomplish over the next year. And that's a Brian Tracy deal. And that is, it's worked for thousands and thousands and thousands of people, and I can tell you it works.
So you don't look at the previous day's writing every day. You just sit down and write down 10.
Yeah, and what'll happen?
Don't look at them?
And what'll happen as you do that, you will become more focused as you move forward. Okay, and it will get more specific, and you will go from You can start out with a general kind of thing, but as you go forward with it, it will tighten up and it will get more specific, and some will drop out and new ones will come in, but you'll end up with a very, very tight list over time with that. So
I just find this fascinating because I think I was about 11 or 12 years old when I first had the green screen computers, and I learned how to type. And once I got into typing, I stopped using a pen to write anything. So I find it fascinating that somehow it's more impactful to write with a pen, writing down on paper, than it is to write with both hands and type. So I'm taking that into account.
Could be the physiology behind it, because when you're writing, your brain is actually keeping up with what you want to, transferring from your brain all the way down to the muscles of your hand to that pen movement. You can hear the pen or pencil movement, so you're getting auditory, you're getting textile, you're getting the visual, and then your mind is slowly composing. And I think, when I think of, I was really, really good at spelling, because my teachers, when I was young, they make you write those words 100 times each. And it just gets it. And I used that in college. I was in one class and we had to learn, in a week's time, we had to learn 100 foreign common words and some were French and Italian, some were Greek, 100 terms, the spelling, what language they were from, and the meaning. And it was an impossible task. And I said, the only way I'm going to do this is I'm going to have to write these 100 times. And so at the end of the week, when that exam came up, I scored 100%. Do I remember those words now? No. But at the time, it served my purpose.
Absolutely.
Because I had to, it slowed my brain down. So I think there is something about the tactile, auditory, and the visual with a handwritten pen.
There's been scientific studies that proves that using handwriting techniques over the typing increases your creativity, which I found fascinating. I mean, it opens up that part of the brain we're all trying to access.
Well, does that have to be if you're left-handed only?
I hope not.
I was using my right hand.
What I love about it is it drives stuff into your subconscious. So that is so cool, because the only other way I know to drive stuff into your subconscious is to review something immediately when you wake up, do it around lunchtime, and do it again before you go to bed at night. And say it out loud then, and over time that will drive things into your subconscious. But just writing things down is a pretty direct way to do it. So,
and I wonder about our upcoming generation, because some schools don't teach cursive anymore to these kids. And how is that going to impact children?
How do you sign your name if you don't know how to do cursive?
I don't know. I don't know what they have planned for these children. And when they read their grandmother's letters in cursive, it'll look like, I don't know what that is. It's hieroglyphics. I don't know what is going to happen.
It'll all work out. Trust me.
Now we're going down this interesting path of personal development in this writing here. And I'm wondering, one of the things that I really enjoyed with learning some of this stuff is the NLP and the copywriting stuff. NLP is just, I need to learn more of that. The more I learn about that, I just enjoy it so much. It's so subtle and powerful.
Look up computational semantics.
Okay.
Computational.
Which has to do with NLP. You'll love it.
Cool.
Are you saying N like Nancy, Larry, Paul?
Neuro-linguistic programming, yeah. It's all really, stuff that who's really good at it is Rob Four.
But didn't Chomsky start it?
Say it again.
Didn't Chomsky start it? Noam Chomsky?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
He was my big 2 semesters ago, I had to listen to a ton of lectures by him.
Oh, cool.
As a marketer, when you said NLP, I was thinking, does it stand for next level partnering?
That's a hashtag.
There you go.
So NLP, NLP is neuro
Yeah, linguistic
Programming. It's
programming.
subtle, like things said in the presentation or the video, or things suggested, or it's almost hypnotic to me how it can work, and just be very subtle and point things out in a way that's like, you really need this.
So it's like very subliminal success. So
I think that's the best way I would describe it, and I don't know it that well, but yes.
Well, there's a Google gentleman. I don't know that he still works with Google or not, and I'm not sure I'm going to get his name right, but it's Chang Mang Tong or something like that. And he's doing a lot of work in association with. It's actually what he's trying to get out of it is world peace. But what he is, what current technology is available to do is, the terms that you've been hearing all the time, what you can think and believe you can achieve.
Right.
And what's happening now is science is starting to prove all this stuff. So, from a perspective of development, mental development, and growth and personal growth, it's absolutely amazing. So that's just kind of my comment on it. And I had that up on my Twitter page for a while, but it was up there, and it's just some amazing stuff. And if people are interested, I'll put that in the today's show document, so you can go check that out because it's some really good stuff there. But anyway,
on that note, getting all over the place with this stuff, but I've been using the HemiSync and the HoloSync.
Say it again.
It's Hemi, like HEMI -sync, SYN sync, and it's brain hemispheric synchronization.
Oh.
And what it is it's there's two main companies now. They're doing HemiSync and HoloSync, and you listen with headphones. You got to listen to this technology with headphones. Make sure the right one's in the right ear and left in the left. And they play separate tones. And so when you listen to it on stereo, if you just put it in your stereo, it sounds like a wah. When you listen with headphones, it creates an oscillation as the two sound waves overlap, and your brain creates an oscillation. So you hear this wah, 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 wah kind of sound. And what it does is, as the sound waves overlap, it stimulates your pineal and pituitary gland in the center of your brain. And so it's a really interesting technology. I've been using it for about a year now, a little bit more than a year. And you listen to these meditations, 20 to 30 minutes of this stuff, and it entrains your brain. You get in the zone, and you'll feel your third eye, your pineal glands start to light up in there. And it's part of some of the stuff. If you look up HemiSync, is if you just Google that, you'll find a bunch of stuff on that. Binaural beats is another part of that, and part of what they do is they use NLP into it. So they'll put in, you'll be listening to this oscillation sound, they'll play in two separate tracks, and then they'll put a subliminal track in the middle. So you'll be listening to two stories, trying to pay attention to each story, and in the middle they'll slip in another story, another subliminal track, and it's really interesting. It's one of my favorite things I've been doing now for personal development and growth with trying to use more brain power. It's been fun.
So let me ask you this. So what have you been able to change or achieve using that? Have you any particular things that you've been aiming for, and what kind of results have you gotten?
I have about 4. I did a life coaching session with a guy about a year ago, and he had about 40 of these things that he gave me, and they're everything from more focus and time management to how to sleep better and dream more and do lucid dreaming to learn languages to self-help, self-hypnosis. There's all kinds of different stuff out there. You can Google a ton of it, but I think once you listen to it with headphones, it'll be something different that you've never really experienced, and you'll come out of it, you set the intent going into it, you listen to this, you come out of it, and you'll just be like, wow, that was enhancing, that was different, that was neat.
And Justin, I'm laughing because when you said we haven't experienced it yet, I can tell you, listen to the Beatles' White Album, number 9. Number 9. Number 9.
Number 9?
With your
number
headphones
9?
on. Number 9. And it's all this overlapping, orchestrated stories, and the way it's number 9. Number 9.
I know that one very well. As
Hey.
a kid, I remember listening to
Chaos,
that
it's
one.
chaos in there, but it's that experience where it's like, oh my gosh, where are we going with this? Yeah.
It's true.
Beatles White Album.
Y'all have to remember that Dustin's out in Denver.
Dustin, we're neighbors.
Oh, really?
I'm in Colorado Springs.
Oh,
cool,
wow.
cool.
Oh, cool. Well, he
Oh,
knows a
that's
bunch of
neat.
people in Colorado Springs, too.
Yeah.
So Dustin, you said you've been doing this for about a year.
Yes.
Have you noticed any self-improvement from it?
Yeah, for sure. I'd say way more confidence in a lot of different areas that I was kind of working with the life coach, and just when I'm able to sit for 20 minutes and have just a space. Sometimes, like today, I go in right now. I do the acupuncture rehab program, and I have 20 minutes to just sit there after I do the needling. I can go into the zone that I've learned from doing these trainings repetitively. I can get there now without the music. I can
Cool.
get there to that
Nice.
space and be able to feel like I'm activating those parts of my brain now without some of the music. So I definitely feel like it's empowered me in a lot of different ways. And I went in there mostly for empowerment and looking to feel like I was able to carry a team along. That was kind of my intent with it. So I think it really did help with just empowering me to feel confident with that. And it's, there's so many different ones. There's one I really like right now. It's called Relax for Manifestation. And it's probably the neatest one I'm talking about. It has binaural beats. It has 2 different stories, and then it syncs in subliminal messaging underneath. And one of the most interesting things it talks about in the imagination process and creating, your future in your imagination is it says, okay, imagine what that picture is like and what you want this to be like and how does it look, how does it feel, how does it smell, immerse yourself in that environment. And then he says, make that 10 times bigger.
Wow.
I've never had that in any other type of meditation, but to me, when you amplify that in your mind, the colors are brighter, the smells are stronger, the sounds are louder, everything's more intense. You do that a couple of times in there, and it creates this vivid, bright picture in your mind of what that goal is. And
Wow.
I have vision boards. This is one of my dream boards on the back here. I've always had them for years on a piece of cardboard. Cut out pictures of stuff, and I'll go back through and I'll look at them. And gosh dang, if every dang thing on there isn't something that I've been or had or done in my life, and this stuff is really empowering to me. I think it's something that I wish they would teach people in part of our schooling is, so much of the negative, pessimistic, like languaging that we talk in ourselves
Yep.
is just so, backwards of what we want to do to empower ourselves. So the more we can, have this positive thinking and envision ourselves. And I got to go, but I have one other thing I heard on the radio, and I never forget. It was a guy in his 80s, Tom Martino. You might know him, Arizona, that is on the radio here. He's a troubleshooter programmer guy.
Uh-huh.
And so he had a show, and he said, what's the secret to life? And he had an 85-year-old guy call in, and he said, I think the secret to life for me was my parents always taught me, hey, you're here today. Where are you going to be in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years? And I don't think enough people have that kind of vision. No one ever taught them that, or ask them to experience that and go through that creative process. And I really took that to heart. What he said was for me, I was able to plan from my parents' teaching, where am I going to be at in 5 years? What am I going to have? What am I going to be doing? And those things I think are so important for you to advance and really get what you want.
I think what people tend to, my humble opinion, people tend to forget that one of our greatest strengths and what I think makes us as human beings unique in the animal kingdom is the fact that we can create.
Yep.
And
Sure.
I don't think we've even begun to touch what we truly, truly can create if we can put our minds into it.
Yeah.
That part's exciting.
Yeah, if you have the vision, you can get there. So it's a vision thing, and
the more you can feed your mind with positive things and positive friends and the good, moving yourself forward every day towards one new thing that's going to strive you better, whatever it is, and reading something or meditating for 5 minutes or walking around the block, some ritual that is your spiritual growth, your growth is something I think we don't do enough.
Preach it.
So guys, I got to get out of here. That was a cool show. We went all over the place.
Well, we
good not
still
to get
focused
technical.
on marketing, so
It's true. It's true.
yeah.
Have a great one, Dustin. I'll see you
Pick
next
out the
week.
NLP. I'll
Dustin.
see you next week. Thank you
Bye,
everybody
Dustin.
for checking out. I'll have to hook up with you a little later.
Okay.
Good
All
deal.
right. Take care, guys.
Take
Bye-bye.
care, bud. Okay, bye-bye.
Wow.
All right, that was fun.
Wow.
Yeah, just remember, if it doesn't serve you, you don't need it, and get it out of your life. And one thing that anytime you say anything out loud, if you follow that up with, and I'd like that, and if you don't, if you can't say I'd like that, don't say it. But that's
That is good.
that's a $25,000 coaching tip. I'd like that. That's what it is. I'd like that. So if you say something and you follow it up with I'd like that, if that's not a true statement, get rid of it. And that's a $25,000 coaching tip. So that's free for everybody today.
Rather than saying that'd be nice to have, that'd be nice. Just say I'd like that.
Well, just whatever you say, if you say after it, I'd like that.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And if that's not a true statement, don't say it again.
Yeah.
So, but anyway.
That's actually helps you self-prioritize what is important to you.
It does, and it helps you stay on track with focusing on things that move you forward with your goals. So that's pretty cool. So anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Arizona. You were going to say something?
I was just going to say, this whole conversation made me think about talking with Mike Leary yesterday. And he's an amazing businessman and was just petering me with all these questions. And he was like, well, what makes you think this is going to work? And I thought about that question for a minute, and I told him, I said, Mike, there is no thinking. It's going to work.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Bingo. That's the truth.
And that's always that qualifying question that people test your true commitment. It's like when you get asked that qualifying question, like, well, what makes you think? They're testing you, like, do you got it now? Do you, show me your commitment. From your answer reveals your commitment.
Well, it's there if you want it. You just got to go get it and take it. But this is a 30-minute show, and we're almost at an hour now, so we probably ought to be signing off and everything. But if y'all guys will hang off, so I'm just going to say thanks everybody for showing up. We didn't get any questions today. If we did, I didn't catch them. So anyway, y'all want to say say whatever you want to say, and then Arizona, after you say something, we'll sign off. So Melanie, go ahead.
Thank you, Tom. Glad to meet you, Arizona. I'm going to circle you. Hope you circle me back. And let's just keep our focus. And I hope that this week's show inspired all of us to do more of our positive things. So you already know about, you can Google me, Meloney Hall. Just spell the Meloney right and you'll find me.
Well, spell it for them.
Meloney. It's
There we
like
go.
it's like Meloney or El Money if you're dyslexic.
I like that.
I don't have any El Money. But you'll remember that's, if you're dyslexic, just flip it around.
There you go. Arizona, this is your chance to give a little blurb and promote yourself a little bit and what you're doing. And we're going to put all this stuff in a resource document. So when we sign off, I'll show you how to do all that.
Okay. Melanie, I will for sure follow you or add you to my circles. And I want to invite everyone to come out and visit todaysvisions.com, which is the spot for indie promotion. And it's very much a startup. The goals are in the About page. You'll see how we're going to get to where we're going by October 1st. So
Cool.
ready to join us.
Wow, very good.
Right.
And if you're a curator, call me. I want to hear from you.
There you go. Well, listen, everybody, we had a great time today, so y'all have a great day today, and we'll see you next Tuesday at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. Take care, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.